Hello and welcome to a new installment of Tales in Atrocious Lighting. Jokes aside, it's been a little bit, it's been ages in YouTube time I guess, and a lot of things have been happening. We had the holidays obviously, which is always a really busy time, and besides that I decided to go back to school, which also takes up a lot of my time. But I'm learning more about myself and my social as well as my mental capacity to handle things, and just trying to figure out how I got to this place and why I've allowed myself to withdraw inwards so much that I have become afraid of life. I didn't mean to start this off on such an intense topic, but it's what I'm going through, and I think it's what a lot of people go through. I think that self-care in its truest form is doing the hard stuff and getting to a better place for yourself in the end. Anyways, knitting. I have continued knitting, maybe not as much as I had been, obviously. I said I was busy. I was doing a little bit of Christmas knitting here and there, but I also got in a couple projects for myself. I have one finished project that I am wearing. It is the Be Thankful cardigan by Lily Kate Makes, and I made this in the Stonehenge Fiber Mill Shepherd's Wool Worsted, and I believe it's the Beaches colorway. I really love this cardigan. It is a fairly simple knit. I was a little nervous because I've played with buttons and buttonholes before, but not completely finished a project. And there is a little bit of a problem with the bottom button, but it's honestly not something that you would normally notice, and I don't think anybody is looking that closely at your buttons. So I'm really happy with this finished project, and it's such a great basic everyday knit. It's super comfortable. It's next to skin yarn for me, and my skin I feel like is pretty sensitive. I believe I might have felted it a little bit because when I was blocking it I stretched it, and I stretched it so much that I was afraid that it was not going to be able to be worn in its intended way as more of a shirt. So I put it in the dryer, and I think I had the heat on too high, so it might be a little felted, but it's still gorgeous and it doesn't bother me, honestly. I think it's a great beginner's knit too if maybe you've done a sweater and you want to try out a cardigan, get some practice with the buttons. It was real simple. The pattern was great to follow. I added a little bit of length, I believe, because I'm not crazy about the crop trend right now. I understand it and I think it's super cute, but it's something that I don't love on myself. It is still a little bit too cropped for me, but I think I'm just going to leave it. I don't really want to frog it and do it again. I definitely am going to make another one in the future, so maybe I will play with length a little more in that way. So this pattern is a success, one I definitely want to make again, one that for me I only had to knit once, which is always great because I am really bad about making really silly little mistakes and then continuing to knit and then having to frog the whole thing and redo it again. So this was a nice change of pace for me. I am also working on a sweater number 8 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. This is a high neck rib knit pattern. It's a 2x2 rib knit throughout the whole project, which I thought I would mind a little more, but I actually haven't minded it. It's been a pretty relaxing knit, something that I can do very easily while focusing on other things. From what I've seen, I love the shape of this sweater. I think that it's going to have a nice, really structured silhouette, and I love the high neck on it. I have to be careful. I might have made mine a little too high, but I'm just gonna pop it down. Something I've also noticed is that while I haven't read through the entire pattern yet, it seems like you are going to flip it inside out at the end because this is the view from the side that you're knitting on, which looks a little bit messier than the inside. And I believe also in the photos that this raglan seam looked like it was these knit stitches instead of the pearls that are underneath. So I'll keep you updated, but I'm almost positive that this is one that you're going to flip inside out, which I would do anyways because I think it looks really nice on the inside. So yeah, I'm really enjoying that. I am using yarn that was an impulse buy from going to Hobby Lobby. It's the Yarn Bee hand-dyed yarn. And I believe it seems like it's fingering to light fingering weight. And this is also a pattern that you're supposed to hold a mohair or lace weight with, but I decided not to because I really liked the kind of stark look of the contrast of this yarn. I'm really loving that. I like the yarn. We'll see how it performs once I actually, you know, wash it and wear it. I've never used that kind of yarn before, but also in that same impulse buy, I picked up the Yarn Bee 44th Street in Ivory, and I was completely inspired by Rachel Knits Things. I will put a link to her Instagram, but she did, I believe it was the ruffle knit tee. So beautiful and so flowy, and the sleeves just looked angelic. And so I decided to give it a try. I haven't decided if I'm going to do that one yet either. I believe that is a kind of a cropped tee, and I can always just add length to it. But I have to decide if it will actually be a contributing part of my wardrobe, because it is something that could go either way. I could really love and wear a lot, or I could just like to look at it on its own and not really love wearing it very much. We gotta see. I need to be braver. So last time I talked about my forever work in progress, the cardigan number 4 by My Favorite Things Knitwear, which I have right here. I have so many mixed feelings about this. The pattern is fine, it is just a little confusing for me because I get distracted, or I will take things too literally and I'll make a silly mistake and I won't realize it until it's too far for me to feel like ripping back. I also need to practice ripping back because I don't think I'm doing that right. But I ended up frogging this because I made another mistake, and instead of trying to rip back in fisherman's rib, which already kind of scares me, I'm going to continue on with this. I'm going to finish it and we'll see. If I wear it, I wear it. If I don't, I will find someone who will wear it, because the sweater has to be made and finished and put out of my life. Well, that is all that I have for you this time. I hope to be a little more active. My plan has always been maybe once a month, and we'll just see how that goes. So thank you for stopping by, and as always, I'll see you next time.